ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांशः हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ वासुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। हरिः ओम्। सर्वेभ्यः नमस्काराः, सर्वेभ्यः सुस्वागतम्। गतसप्ताहे श्लोकत्रयं दृष्टवन्तः, अपि तु तत्र केचन शब्दाः, केचनानि पदानि आगच्छन्ति। स्वप्नप्रपञ्च इति। तस्य विचारं किमर्थं स्वप्नप्रपञ्चम् इति वयं चर्चां कर्तुं प्रारम्भं कृतवन्तः किल। अद्योपि किञ्चित् चर्चां कृत्वा किञ्चित् ज्ञानमार्गे किं भविष्यति, ज्ञानमार्गे किम् अस्ति इति दृष्ट्वा भक्तेः ज्ञानेऽपि सम्बन्धः कः इति एकवारं पश्यामः। So last week we saw about 3 shlokas, and there were a lot of terms that came. Very interesting terms. We'll recollect all those terms and go through them. So there is this concept of jnana, and there is a concept of bhakti that comes up. So we will see what this concept of jnana and bhakti is and how they are one and the same as in our tradition of Vedanta. So that will be the point of discussion for our class today. Okay. So let us start off from here. Okay. So one, of course, we all realize that, there is a concept of samagrata, which is the Paramatman, with the Paramatman, and one who is established in the Brahman, and that's the objective of our life, getting moksha. So, given that, we said we are going to do everything in that realm of things. So, this is where we were. So, these were the 3 shlokas that we saw. Yeah. It said, Kastvam koham kutayatah kame janani kame kome matatah idi paribhavaya sarvamasaram vishwam tyaktva swapna vicharam. The Vishwa is like a swapna. That is what came about. So how is this swapna? What is swapna? What is that? We'll just try to analyze that a little today. Tvayimai sarvatraiko Vishnu व्यर्थम क्युप्यसे सर्वासहिष्णुः सर्वमस्मिन्नपि पश्यात्मानं सर्वत्रोत्सृज भेदाज्ञानम्. So give up that Veda, stop looking around as though everything is acting in isolation. So another way of looking at it is, stop looking at it as though everything is acting in isolation. So most of the times what we do is we assume that everything is acting in isolation, and Other things are influencing me, but I am not influencing the other. That is the position that we all end up taking. And that is what leads to a lot of these discussion, debates, and I am not responsible, only that is responsible for something. So if you look at the samashti, sarvam asmin api pashyatmanam. If you look at that, that is also something that is being influenced. Then you'll act in a way that, both of them are in harmony. Rather than saying that, now the harmony, the higher level order could be established through a war, for instance. That's a different story. But then to say that only that is influencing me, I am not influencing it, is not a right thing. Right? So that is where Acharya is coming from and saying, look at it as a two-way process rather than a one-way process. Okay. शत्रौ मित्रे पुत्रे बंधौ मा कुरु यत्नं विग्रह संधौ सर्वस्मिन्नपि पश्यात्मानं सर्वत्रोत्सृज भेदाज्ञानम. That's the second line is same as the previous shloka. Whether it is you, me, sarvatra Vishnu, that is first step. Now, second thing is see that quintessential self and the Atman in Shatru, Mitra, Putra, Bandhu, everyone. Then you will know that that person is also acting in accordance with that, you're also acting in accordance with that. Then it becomes easy to sort of, reflect and conquer. Conquer both ends of the spectrum can be easily conquered. That is the point that is being made here. Okay. So let's move on. So we did this. And ka tvam kaha ham kuta ayatah kame janani kame tatah swapna vicharam vishwam tyaktva sarvam asaram iti paribhavaya. Okay. Tvai mai sarvatra ekah Vishnu vyartham kupyasi sarva asahishnu sarvam asminnapi pashya atmanam cha sarvatra veda jnanam utsruja. So we saw this. This is where we were seeing basically. Okay. Tvam kaha, aham kaha. The moment we ask this question, aham kaha, who am I? The moment that question comes to our mind in a very, very deep way, or rather, even at a very gross way also, if it comes, our progress accelerates from that point onwards. Our progress on the spiritual path accelerates the moment this question of who am I comes in. Where am I? Who am I? What am I? First thing you'll start with that, okay, this physical body. What is this physical body? I mean, there are voluntary functions, there are involuntary functions. Now, who is guiding this involuntary function? That is the next question you'll ask. The moment you say there is something that is guiding an involuntary function, that itself is that form of energy that is there. Right? So it goes on and on and on. Then you can start introspecting. Now there are things within, there are things without. Where is it that I am and who is it that I am? Kasmat ayatah. From where did I come? Mama Janani ka. So you're discussing this whole point, no? The biggest scam that, our date of birth. The concept of our date of birth. That, somebody gives you a piece of paper, written that this is when you were born. Right? And then it goes, the whole. So this itself should have been a warning sign for us that, this samsara is not a nija samsara. But then we believe that this is the only samsara that exists and this is the highest form of samsara and everything. Swapnam ayasa drisham idam bhasate. It appears as though it is real. But in reality, it is more like it is comparable more to a dream than it actually is. Jagat tyaktva sarvamidam mata pitradi vyavahara jatam tucchamata eva na kamyam iti varam varam chintaya. Attach importance to the word, but know that there is a limitation to this word. Know that there is a limitation to everything that goes on. Right? Okay. Very simple way of looking at it. We are extremely attached to our parents, for instance. Extremely attached to our somebody who we are very close to. Okay. One day or the other, there is some distance starts developing with them. Correct? It is not like throughout the life that same level of bonding is always there. The moment that happens, of course, we are going to be sad. Of course, there is going to be a challenge. Of course, there is going to be pain. But can that pain also remain forever? That pain also subsides over time. So that is the point. So pain is also temporary in some sense. All forms are temporary in some sense. Vishnu Vyapanashila Sarvavyapi Vishnu. सर्वव्यापी विष्णु परमात्मा एव सर्वशरीरेषु तथा प्रपंचे सर्वत्र च वर्तते अंतर्बहिश्च तत्सर्वव्याप्य नारायण स्थितः. That is what we hear in Narayana Sukta. What is within, what is without. Antarbahishcha tat sarvam sarvatra vyapya narayana sthitah. That is the one which is there everywhere. Right? So that's what is being reinforced here. Ataha atotvam atahatvam aham cha eka eva. Yadi paraha asti tarhi kopaha yujyate. When does a conflict start? What is the origin of a conflict? When either you think that something is not in accordance with your order, or the other person thinks that it is not in accordance with his or her order. Correct? Both of you are doing exactly the same thing at exactly the same time at exactly the same place. Then there is no conflict. Now, the whole samsara is created to create this bhava that everything is different. Right? So that is the whole idea. Tvam anamayam padam vishnutvam moksham vanchasi. However, if you say that moksham vanchasi, go with the idea to get that moksha, sarvatra samachittaha bhavishyati. Then it starts becoming, everything starts making sense in some ways. Okay. So that's how it goes as Shatrau Virodhana, Mitre Sneha Apina. It's all there. But then how much you decide? That is the question that is what is being said. Okay. Now, yes, Sushila Mahadeo.
Mahadaya, there's no power, so I've put off my video for I'm on my telephone.
No, it's okay. Yeah. Astu. Okay. Okay. Now there is a concept called Swapna Vicharam. This is all a Swapna Vichara. So there is a beautiful, as I was mentioning in the last class, in the Dakshinamurti Stotra, first shloka, this is the very first shloka of the Dakshinamurti Stotram, where Acharya says, Vishwandarpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyan Nijantar Gatam Pashyannatmani Mayaya Bharivodbhutam Yatha Nidraya Yat Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swatmanameva Advayam Tasmai Sri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Sri Dakshina Murtaye. Okay. So let's understand this. Vishwam Darpada Drishyamana Nagari Tulyan Nijantar Gatam. The Vishwa appears like a world in a captured within a mirror. Darpada Drishyamana Nagari. You are seeing that. Okay. And it appears to be true. It appears to be real. Correct. So let's take the example. Let's say there is a mirror. You keep a mirror in front of you. Now you, of course, you are seeing yourself. Now suppose there's a smudge. There is a smudge, either it can be on the face or it can be on the mirror. Correct. Both the things are possible. Right. Now, if it is on you, it is easy. You can just wipe it off and do it. But if it is on the mirror, no matter how much you wipe yourself, the smudge is not going to go. What can you do? You can get angry with the mirror and say, no, 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 you're not showing me well. So now, there is one way. Either you can remove the mirror and say, okay, there is nothing. There is no two, I am the only one. Or you can get angry with your other self, which is there. Or if you don't know there is a mirror, a child or animals, they have a very nice. They'll start hitting the mirror. They'll start fighting with that other animal on the other side, right? So if that happens, what will happen? There are multiple things that can happen now. It can become very fun. Lot of fun. If you don't realize that your objective is to remove that mirror and just say there is nothing, I am the only one thing that can happen is, one of the things, you will start fighting with yourself on the other side. Second thing that can happen in the process, you can break the mirror. You can create cracks in the mirror. What will happen if you break the mirror? Earlier, at least there were only two of you. How many of you now you become? And how many are you trying to fight now? So this is what our challenge is. No, every day this is exactly what we are doing. We are breaking many, many mirrors. Right? Because we are not skilled enough to take out that mirror out of our lives and say, okay, there's only one, there's nothing more. If we develop that skill, Acharya is saying, no, it is like that. First, understand this is what it is. Then you'll start realizing things differently. The other example he gives is, first one he said, this like Vishwan Darpada Drishyamana Nagari Tulyan Nijantargatam Pashyan Atmani Mayaya Baharivo Udbhutam Yatha Nidraya. Now we have all had this one of a dream. Correct? Everyone has seen a dream. Now, when we experience a dream, what happens? Are we really acting in the dream? Are we acting in the dream?
We are real in the dream. In the
We are
dream
real
world,
in
we
the
are real.
dream. Okay. Yes, Srividya Mahodaya.
Yeah. We project ourselves as others in that way.
We project ourselves. We project everything and we project everyone. Correct? You can create multiple lions in the dream. You can create multiple airports, flights. You can take a flight. You can connect a train. You can create a house. You can create your relatives. You can create all those relatives who are dear to you or fighting for you. You can create all those relatives who you are against and who you don't like and dislike, who are both fighting with each other and you are fighting with them in between. You can create all those things. Correct? That is a projection. So now, and you are also present in that dream. So in that sense, you are also real there. Only thing that you are probably not doing is moving your karmendriya and gnanendriya. Because they are all somewhere resting. You don't move your hands and legs, physical hands and physical legs in the dream, but you are running around, you are walking, you are doing everything. And you're feeling it. There's a quote unquote feeling, sense of feeling is there. Correct? And how do I know there's a sense of feeling? If you're chased by a dog and you wake up, you'll see there's a sweat. There is fear, there is palpable fear, and you actually wake up to find out, oh, that was a dream. Fair enough. Right? Now, who created that dog?
Myself.
We ourselves projected the chitta, which had some long-term memory of some dog chasing or something going on, that projected this one as a dog chasing us to indicate some other thing, that some other thought that is going on. Correct? That is what is happening. So you cannot say that the dream is unreal, is different from the world that we live in. Correct? It is just that there is an additional factor of a physical pain which we feel because of a karmendriya and jnanendriyas working. Apart from that, the dream is exactly same from the real world, from the quote-unquote real world. Anybody who disagrees? Nobody
No,
disagrees?
that's correct.
Nobody? Any thoughts, pointers?
Yeah.
The same as in the waking state, but it's only a dream, but it's unreal once you wake up.
It's unreal once you wake up. That's a different story. Yes, Basavaraj Mohdey wanted to say something.
No, I think, yeah, that's correct. Well, it's two different things, right? It's not practical.
That's exactly what is happening.
Yeah.
Right? But the moment you wake up, you realize, oh, okay, this was something stupid. This was something that was either beautiful, good, bad, whatever it is, but it's still unreal. Oh, okay, fine, I just saw some dream. That Udasina Bhava comes up immediately. I don't think anybody will say, no, that was a wonderful dream. I'm going to live exactly like that now. Let me do that. Does anybody try that way?
No, in a way, it's good too, because sometimes it's easy to dream than be in real.
Yeah,
you get it for free.
foresee certain things, you might have had a good experience. All that is true. I'm not disputing all those things. Those things are, yeah,
But
it is.
Mahodaya, the dream is also the experiences which have been recorded in your mind or in your chitta for so many years, right?
Absolutely.
So in a way, it's a way you can say it's an experience somewhere down the line or in some janma you must have.
No, not just any janma. This janma only. A dream cannot be from any other janma. Very clear.
It is from the subconscious mind.
It is the subconscious mind, whatever it is experiencing right now, as it has experienced, it is just projecting it onto a reality called the mind. That's all.
Yeah. It is just like a screen projector.
So, okay, I'll answer your question differently. See, the idea of that dream could have come from multiple sources, from a different, say, it could have come from a different janma or whatever. But the way it is, 1 minute, let me complete. But before, the way it is projected onto you right now has to be necessarily of this janma. Because there are only certain recorded visuals and recorded, we are all constrained by the 5 jnanendriyas. And only those 5 jnanendriya related things can be projected on and created an image out of. Whether it's an image, smell, hearing or whatever. Correct? So the idea itself can be from anywhere. But this will be something that will be projected or showcased to you in a way that you are able to visualize it. So there is nothing. For instance, if a person has never seen an aeroplane in his life, there is no way he will ever visualize an aeroplane in that. That will never happen. The idea itself is a different matter. What the interpretation of the dream is a very different philosophy in itself. That's why Swapna is a very deeply related and deeply studied concept in our philosophy. We have it studied very, very deeply. So very, very deep ideas have come from dream, and many great scholars have worked on what a dream is. But then, what is that projection that you are seeing as a dream is necessarily coming from that projection itself is a manifestation of whatever you have seen. The idea behind it is very different, could be very different. That's a different thing. I hope that answers the question. Right? Okay. So now, what Acharya is saying is, the world of engagement in this, the world of engagement that we all engage so much in, the world of action that we engage so much in, is exactly like this dream of a superconscious that is projecting you onto something and, having some fun. That is all. Okay. That's why it says, goes on to say, yeah, Pashyan Atmani Mayaya Baharivo Udbhutam Yatha Nidraya Yes Sakshat Kurte Prabodha Samaye Swatmanameva Advayam. There are no two, there is nothing two there, there are no double entries there. Let's say you saw 50 things in your dream, but you realize only one thing woke up, that was you. You created and manifested those 50 things. Similarly, the Atman also manifests so many of these in this real world, and a make-believe thing goes on and on and on. And once you wake up to that ultimate reality, and when I say this world, you should remember that 3.1 trillion years that we all spoke about. Not just, the small little world that we all know of. It goes on from a single-celled amoeba till the Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma, that has been manifested out. Right? There are things that are not perceivable to us as human beings because of our sensory and transactional organs. But that doesn't mean there is nothing beyond these. So there could be that, and it could be in multiple fold. You are at the human level, but if you go to somewhere else, you could be manifested into something else. That's just a transmogrification, to use Calvin and Hobbes and Calvin's terms, transmogrifier. He has the transmogrifier and interesting concepts, very nice ways of doing things, right? So that you're just transmogrified somewhere and appeared somewhere, and that is what Acharya is saying. This is happening. This is how it is happening. So don't sweat too much on these things. Okay. So now let's understand this dream and waking state a little more from what our philosophy brings about. Okay. So this is what in Manasollasa, by the way, see, Acharya Shankara wrote 10 shlokas. It's called the Dakshinamurti Ashtotra. 8 plus 2 are the Phalashrutis. So it is it's called Ashtotra. Dakshinamurti Stotra, if you want to call it. For these 10 shlokas, it was so complex for people to assimilate and understand. Acharya Sureshwaracharya, who was Mandala Mitra, had a great debate and became the greatest student, wrote 128 shlokas to substantiate and explain these 10 shlokas. Okay. Post that, about 10,000 pages of work have happened only on this Dakshinamurti Stotra. It is such a deep Stotramala. Okay. That's all. That's why it is also a very, very deep Prakarana Grantha, if you want to call it so. It is full of Jnana and Bhakti and so much deep. That's the highest form of Vedanta if you can ever get to. Okay. So what he says is, in Manasollasa, he explains Swapna. What he is saying is, Yatha Swapne Nrupaha Bhutva Bhuktva Bhogani Bhogan Yatha Ipsitan Chaturanga Balaha Balopetah Chaturanga Balopetah Shatrum Jitva Ranangane. See, Yatha Swapne, as in a dream, you can become a king, and then enjoy a lot of things. Bhogan yatha ipsitan. You became a king and you just went about enjoying everything that you led a kingly life. Chaturanga balopetah shatrum. One who was very, very ardent and a very dire enemy. You went and destroyed him. You Shatrum Jitwa, you won in that Ranangana, in the battlefield. Parajitaha Bhutva, Vanam Prapya, Tapascharan. Post that you became, you went to the Vana and you lost and went to a Vana and did a lot of tapaha. Muhurtam Murtamatram Atmanam Manyate. In a second, you from being a king who had won every enemy over, you became a Parajita. Kalpajivanam. You imagined a life like that. Tatha eva Jagrat Kalopi Manorajyam Karoti Asau. Kalan Adyovegena Dakshinam Ayuhu na Pashyati. Once your Kala is over, sorry, it is Kalanadi. Kalanadi. Kalanadyo Vegena. Once you cross this Kalanadi, Dakshinam Ayuhu. So beyond that, once you get moksha, you will not see anything, any of this. That's what it means. You will not see the dualities. That is, you will not see happy, sadness, then all this victory, loss, and all these things will not be visible. That is what this idea is coming from. Okay. Any thoughts around this on the Swapna Shila? Swapna Vicharam? Sushila Mohdaya. भवत्याः ध्वनिमुद्रिका मुखमस्ति.
Here it is written Kshinamarian, that is the is missing. In the Kala Nadyo Vegena Kshinamaryurna Pashyati. That's what is given.
Ena Kshanam, it should be Kshanam Ayu.
Kshanam, right? That's what. Okay. You read it as Dakshina, so I thought possibly there's some.
Yeah, no, there is one version which goes as Dakshina also, so that's where I was reading from.
Dhanyavadam.
Any other thoughts? Okay. Shadam Ayuhu na Pashyati.
Mahodaya, you said dream is made by the mind.
Yes.
But but it comes automatically, by itself. Some way weird dreams and all.
Yeah, it's a subconscious mind. It's a subconscious. The idea is the subconscious mind. Correct. So that's why in our scheme of things, there are 3 states. One is a waking state that we are all currently in, assuming nobody is sleeping. So that is one state. The second state is this dream state. The third state is what is called deep sleep. What is called Sushupti. In that, there is a no dream state. Correct. So all of us go through roughly 2 to 3 hours of deep sleep or sushupti every day, where even the mind is switched off. So the difference between the three states is the waking state has all our Gnanendriya and Karmendriya active. The 5 sense organs and the 5 transactional organs are all actively participating in everything. The dream state, your sense organs and these transactional organs are at rest, because the mind's command is for them to be in rest. However, the mind itself is active. The mind has not gone off. In the deep sleep state or in the sushupti, even the mind, the chitta, buddhi, ahankara, manas, chitta, buddhi, ahankara also are sleeping, are also in a rest state. They're also switched off. That is the difference. So that is why that is the state where we all experience sort of bliss. Only thing is we can't remember it at the end of it. What was that bliss? You can only speak about it in past tense. Can anybody speak about it in present tense? I am having a deep sleep now. Is that a statement anybody can make?
No, we cannot.
I had a deep sleep.
It's called daydream, but we we cannot say that.
No, you can't have dream in that state.
Yeah,
so there's nothing.
You cannot be awake when you are dreaming.
Yeah. However, there is one more state. I think yogis will know this.
Lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming, when you know you're dreaming.
I'll come to no, that's not the state I'm talking about. That's a different state. I talk about lucid dreaming in a minute. Hold on. That is different. The other state is the Turiya Avastha. Turiya is not lucid dreaming, sorry. That lucid dreaming is also a dream state only. Okay. Swapna Eva. Now, Turiya Avastha is a state where you are in that deep state without any thoughts, but then you are awake. You are conscious of what is happening. Everything is passing by. You are seeing, everything you are experiencing. Your body, hands, mind, everything is experiencing everything, but you are nowhere in that. That happens to Gnanis and a lot of realized souls, realized Atma. That Brahmendra Saraswati is a great Avadhuta Brahmendra Saraswati is a great example.
Ramakrishna Paramahamsa,
Avadhuta Brahmendra Saraswati, Ramana Maharshi. Yeah, Ramana Maharshi is the best example. I mean, he said, somebody came and said, I need to perform an operation on you. You are having a sarcoma. I mean, it's like needs to be taken off. There is gangrene. He said, okay, take. So they said, okay, we'll give you an anesthesia so that you will not feel pain and all that. Let you do your job. Let pain do its job. I will do my job. And the story goes that, he was just giving a lecture, they cut out the leg and went. And they told the students, it's bandaged, it'll get septic, don't do anything to make sure it's okay, take care of it. So it was nightfall, it's in Tiruvannamalai, and it gets cold there in some at times because it's on top of at the foothills. So there, when he was in sleeping, his body started shivering, started feeling chill. So the students, they were not doctors, they were not trained to be medical professionals. They thought maybe we should put something to heat, so that there should be some heat around him. They kept a lamp under the cot so that it will heat up the whole area. The next day morning, the doctor comes and says, what have you guys done? You have cooked up his leg. So these things can happen. So Ramana Maharshi said, one came, said something is wrong, he cut it away. The other one came, cooked it. Why are you all bothered so much? You can leave it and go as is. Throughout, he said the same thing to everyone. So these are very different states of mind. I mean, reaching those states are not easy. Imagine, first of all, imagine you take a blade and why a blade? Take a pin and just, try to prick yourself. See what happens. This person is saying, okay, you cut and go. So those are different states. Those are states where you are, that is Turiya Avastha. You can be in that Turiya Avastha. That the yogis have managed it. It is not like it has not happened. Okay, so now coming back to what Shalini Mahodaya said, lucid dreaming. I don't know
Yes.
how many of you can actually have experienced it. So that's also not an easy state. How many of you can actually say that in your dream, I can say that I know I am dreaming now? It's a very different experience. You need a lot of practice to it for that.
Yes.
You need to be
We are
extremely,
all in deep dream state now.
you need to be extremely conscious of, okay, this is the state I am in.
It doesn't happen to me now, but when I was younger and I used to practice it, so as a teenager, I think I had more of these experiences. Now it's very few and far between. And again, it's very conscious when I want to have it. Usually it's when I want to have it, but sometimes, yes, it comes on its own also. So, yeah.
So those are states where, as you said, conscious. So you need to give it, basically surrender and say, okay, I know I am dreaming. I'm happy I am dreaming. You may be dreaming a lion attacking you and doing things, that's okay. But you're happy to give it to that lion. You're happy to give it to those things and let it go. So
And
in fact, those are a lot of techniques like that are used
yeah.
to get your vasanas off.
Yes. And there's also, I don't know if it's a documented thing, but sometimes in that process, I've also wanted to have a particular kind of dream or wanted to travel to a place and have seen that I can do that. I have tried it,
You
like
can
not now.
imagine this one, yes. I mean, there are limitations to it. I mean, it's all a lot to do with the vasanas and the way, of course, and never try these things without a guru. That's a very important thing. So these are not things to, attain some siddhis and attain some this one. You always have a guru who's guiding you on these things. If at all you are trying any of these things, it can short circuit your life in very different ways. So,
Mahodaya.
so,
Yeah.
so, so just 1 minute, Nagaprabha Madhya, let me just complete. So this actually, there are two versions of this lucid dreaming. One version is where it can be, okay, it's normal, you just get there and come back. The other level is what leads to what's called schizophrenia. They can become schizophrenics if they're not guided in the right way. So that is where the whole thing can end up if you're not guided. So be careful about trying any such things before you do anything, and have a guru who will guide you on all these things. Yes. Nagaprabha Mahodaya, you want to say something? Yes.
In the I have experienced some dreams where we am getting some knowledge
Hmm.
from some message from that no, from the dream. Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very normal. I mean,
Like
a lot of things can happen like that. Yes.
They could be used as
like
warnings.
I'm in the mountain hiking a mountain like in a rock, and suddenly the rock fell down, and I was like slide down, and I felt like only my legs are beating, and I am continuously chanting Krishna 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 like that, but it was beating. Then all of a sudden I said, I'm no more. Then I heard the voice, you swam so nicely and now you're saying no more, like that. But I didn't know that I am the one who was beating. Like that, some experience.
Everyone has their own experiences which
Like
keep going on.
non-doer. I'm not a doer like that. I'm not doing anything. Everything is happening.
In the
But
dream, none
we
of us
think
are
I am
doers, by the
doing.
way. By
Yeah.
the way, that's a very important point. In the dream, none of us are doers. We realize it only when we wake up. Correct? None of us are doers of anything. The mind has done a mischief and it's run away. Had its own set of fun. Correct? That's exactly what happened. So that's true. Yes, Srividya Mahadeva Datta.
Okay, on that note, I'd like to ask you whether this is the right question or not. Why don't I remember anything I dream? Or am I not dreaming anything?
So your question is, when you wake up, everything that you had in the dream, you are not remembering. Is that the question?
No, I don't think I'm dreaming at all.
Sorry?
I don't think I'm dreaming at all.
Okay, you don't think you're dreaming at all. That's possible.
Yeah.
That could be possible. It's nothing. See, there are two things that could be happening. Usually two things that can happen is, one, you dream, but then you don't recollect what you have dreamt. That's easy to figure out. If you are if you are had a very hazy dream, usually you will wake up with a heavy head, where you have not remembered. If you wake up if you have dreamt very well, seen exactly what is happening, you'll wake up with a clear head. Okay. Alternately, you don't have a dream at all. It is also okay. I mean, all three states have been explained in great detail. It's not necessary that you need to have a dream.
So what is that state called? Okay.
No, nothing. You just get into deep sleep. See, there's what is called a rapid eye. See, this is not a very sequential thing. You have, if you study the process of sleep, you have what is called a rapid eye movement phase, where the eyes you close, you just trying to get into sleep. You sleep, then you get into deep sleep state. Then while most of the dreams are while you're waking up. Right? Because at the end of the dream, you necessarily wake up. Okay? You can directly wake up from a sushupti. That is not something that has been ruled out or anything. Or you can get into another round of rapid eye movement and then wake up, depending on the duration of this one. So that rapid eye movement is where it leads to a dream state or a non-dream state, or how it is. So everything, it's what your state of mind is, how calm you are, and where you stand. That's about it is coming. So there is no, you can't say, oh, Sushila dreamt something yesterday, I should have also dreamt something else. She dreamt about me, so she didn't come in my dream, I'm going to cheat. This is cheating, I need to do. You can't get into those kind of arguments. These are not what is that, tangible arguments to make in any sense. Everyone has their own experience. So just be aware that you are there and you are just dreaming. That's about what it is. Okay. So let's get back to this. So the whole dreaming process is, in some sense, a projection of the mind. It's a projection of the mind. For the purpose of the mind creates another world. Another world is created, totally different world. A new world is totally manufactured, in fact. Now, somebody asked me a few days back, I was having a chat with one of the kids, some 10th, 12th standard year, 12th, 10th, 11th standard kid, and he said, how did the universe get created? I said, you created it. How do you create it? In your dream, you create it every now and then. Did you not? Similarly, it gets manufactured. It needs an upadana karana and nimitta karana, which is basically saying, what do you need? So what is the upadana karana? What is the causal force, and what is the instrumental force that creates this? It is the mind acts as both in this case. Otherwise, if you see a piece of furniture, you need wood and you need a carpenter and the know-how to create it. Right? These are the three things that are required to create anything. First, I need a log of wood, the proper log of wood. The second thing is that I need is a carpenter, a person who will do that job. Or I can just say a person to begin with. Carpenter is an upadhi I can give later. Now, if that person knows how to do this job, the process of doing that is what then I would call him a carpenter. It could be that an untrained person also sees the same log of wood, but may not have the technical know-how to do it. He may visualize it, visualize a furniture out of that. But if you don't know, if you don't have the skills to sort of cut it down, what instruments to use, how to do it, then there is a waste. Vyartha. In the case of a dream, our mind is all three. It knows everything. It knows all the things. So that is why the idea itself may be coming from Chitta, what to project. But how to project it, how to showcase it, is something that is coming as the mind's own mind, what it has learned since the time it was born. Correct? So that is what it is creating. The mind creates the dream and also enters into it. See, this is the fun part. The mind is involved. The mind is actively involved, whether it's lucid dreaming or non-lucid dreaming. The mind is actively involved. A pseudo world is required for all dream-related transactions. Right? It does go on. Okay. So let's now move forward.
Mahodaya, then can we say that you said the idea is from the Chitta?
Could be.
Is it?
Can be.
So that means the idea is related to those past karmas?
Can be. It is not necessary. It can be. The mind itself can have an idea. See, mind itself is a bunch of thoughts, no?
Okay.
Bundle of thoughts. Now, the Chitta may also want to project something along with that idea. So that's where the muddledness comes in. So if you want to
it has no relation with the prarabdha of what
it can. That's what I'm saying. It can, provided it's coming from the Chitta. The idea is coming from the Chitta. If it is not, if it is only the mind can also create some dreams. Okay. Yes, Shalini Mahodaya.
Mahodaya, I have a question which is very much an extension of Sushila Ma's question. So Sushila Ma said that dreams can come from the past. We can dream of the past lives, and you said no, that is not possible. But don't we have dreams of the future also? And then those dreams sometimes come true, or there's a feeling of deja vu, and you know that I dreamt about this. So, how is it not possible? I mean, I do think that the unconscious stores all the cyclical memories that we have been through, and past lives as well as future lives can be dreamt of. Why not?
So, Shalini Mahodaya, that's exactly, I think I clarified this to Sushila Mahodaya before you joined. So, it is not that the past life ideas cannot be projected as a dream, or the future or the prarabdha cannot be projected as a dream. It can. That is what gets projected as a dream through the chitta. But there is a catch. The catch is the limitation of the mind is that it can project and visualize and showcase only things that it has actually seen somewhere. Okay. If it has not seen in this life, in this limited period from birth till the time you are dreaming, there is no way it will project anything. Just like, for instance, Nagaprabha Mahodaya was talking about, some stones and then falling stones and things like that. Now, what it actually means is not something that you can interpret just based on some random theories. Unfortunately, Sigmund Freud tried it very badly and failed. Okay. Even though to some extent it works if it is in the mind state or in the subconscious state to some extent. But if it is in chitta, there is no way you can interpret it so easily. You need a guru to do that very, very strongly, who is aware of certain things. So to sum up, I am not ruling out that the idea itself is coming from chitta, where your past karmas of the prarabdha are stored. When I say prarabdha, it could be coming from your previous janmas, or coming in through the agama, through the something that's going to happen in the future. But the way it is projected, the situational projection that is happening is strictly through the mind, and the mind will only project things what it has experienced so far. Does that clarify? Shalini Mahodaya? Your mic is on mute.
Yes, Mahodaya, that's it.
Yeah, okay. Good. So let's move on. Yeah. The waker is just a product in the dream, correct? We all are there. We all are there. We were there in the dream. And we are also a product. Within the dream, we are not creators, but one of the actors. So can anyone say, I created my dream? Nobody can say that. Right? The mind created it. Who am I in that dream is a function of what I want to associate myself with. This is exactly what Shalini Mahodaya and Sushila Mahodaya started saying. You know, that can it be influenced by something that is there in the prarabdha? That I have brought in this chitta. That is stored. Did I associate with it at some point in time? Possibly. Somewhere something going on is done. Both the waker, creator of the dream, personality, and the dreamer are one and the same. Correct? Anybody who disputes this? I am the same who created it. I am the one who is also dreaming it. Correct? No? That is exactly the same thing. When we wake up, from the dream, all above issues are unambiguously resolved and said, oh, it was only a dream. We distinctly remember what we did. Or rather, we may choose to remember, we may choose not to remember. Say, for instance, in Sri Vidya's case, for instance, she said, I don't remember or I don't dream. One of the two things are happening. Either you don't remember that you dreamt or you didn't dream at all. Both the things are possible. Right? But in any case, it's unambiguously resolved that, okay, there was no such thing that happened. Okay. So these are certain qualifications of the dream. Similarly, what Acharya is saying is, this world is also one such dream of the Paramatman. All you need to do is you just need to wake up in the right way. You're all waiting to be woken up. Now, how long it will be, you don't know. It could be 3 trillion years, it could be 25 trillion years, it could be 2 years. Nobody has put any timeline to it. Okay.
Mahodaya, if you say that the whole universe is your own creation, a creation of your mind, then what's
No, it's not a creation of this quote Nagaprabha's mind. That is not what I'm saying. It's the creation of the super conscious called mind. And you are an actor in that. Okay, if you are an actor, now that
then
super conscious Paramatman is also acting through you. So you wake up, to that you will realize you are the Paramatman.
you're pointing like you means not individual you.
Yes, not individually. So for instance, let us say,
In the world there are so many objects like solar objects yeah,
let me explain this. Let us say in your
planets,
dream, in your
planets,
own dream.
everything. How can I create everything?
So 1 minute, let me take a different example, Prabodhya. In your own
Yeah.
dream. In your own dream. Okay. You were there. You are definitely there. You can never have a dream where you are not there. That cannot happen. Okay. You are
Yeah.
definitely there. Now, let's say Jaybalambika Mahodaya is also there. Let us
I'll
say,
be there, but I'll be not in a state that I am now.
correct,
I
exactly.
may dream like I'm a small baby, like that.
You may be anything, but you
Yeah.
are there. You're still there. It could be 10 years younger, 10 years older, whatever
Yeah.
state, you are there.
Yeah.
Correct? You are there. There could be Jaybalambika Mahodaya also in it. There could be some 10 more people in that whole dream. There could be some animals also in that dream. Correct? do those animals and those Jayabala Mahodaya and those 10 other people wake up, or do you wake up when the dream is over? You wake up, right? That's all. And what did it dissolve? It resolved everything else. Right? Similarly, when you realize you are that, now that doesn't mean Jayabala Mahodaya in that dream was unreal. You created and projected something called Jayabala there. Similarly, there is a Paramatman who is projected and that is part of you. So that same Nagaprabha was Jayabala in the dream. Correct?
In the dream of Paramatma.
Nagaprabha. In the dream of Nagaprabha.
No, we are all in the dream of Paramatma.
No, first level, let's take at Nagaprabha's dream. In the dream of Nagaprabha, all the 10 people were Nagaprabha only. Was there anybody else? So when Nagaprabha woke up, they all became Nagaprabha. Right?
Actually, it was not there.
Huh?
Actually, they are not there also.
No, but no, in the dream, until the dream lasts, it's real. Sorry.
Just a story. Yeah.
Whatever,
Like
but
a
you
story.
cannot say that the dream is unreal. Can you say the dream is unreal? Until the dream exists, it is real to that extent. It exists.
Something like a movie.
Yeah, it could be a movie. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. But till the point you are there, you are focused. Let us say Jayabala Ambika shouted at you or you shouted at her. You are going to feel both. When you wake up, you'll realize, oh, why did I do this? Or why did she do this to me? You'll still think about it. That's an additional thought which never existed in your mind, which has now come in. So you cannot say that is unreal. Sorry. Or if a tiger was chasing you, you'll wake up with, sweat on your forehead. Right? Or if in so many, this one we see, or there is something and then and you see somebody kicking something as they wake up and realize, why did you kick? Because something I had to kick a dog. Right? All these are real. To that extent, till the point that dream exists, it is real. Limited reality, true.
Yeah.
Similarly, that we are all part of that Paramatma's dream in some sense. All we need to do is we need to sort of try to wake up.
Mahodaya?
Yeah.
You finish the next. Here you say we are all part of the Parabrahman's dream, right? But then we also say this world is just a dream for you. It is what you project is what it is in the mind. The whole world is in your mind. So over there, you are the one projecting the whole thing, right?
Exactly.
So are they different things?
So, okay, it is like this. See, there is Vyashti and there is Samashti. The dream itself is that Vyashti plus Samashti is your dream, is this whole. Right? I'm just answering it for her. Please, if I'm using some technical terms, please don't mind it because Sushila Mahodaya can understand it faster in that sense. Okay, there's Vyashti and there is Samashti. There's a Vyashti form of the dream, there is some Samashti form of the dream. Both are exactly the same. And both are the same mind which is projecting it. What is it then? You have borrowed some form of mind into you and then projecting it. To your limited understanding. Now, this is constrained in the Vyashti to the extent that we are limited by our sensory organs and transactional organs.
Yes.
Right? To that extent, we are limited. That doesn't mean that there is nothing beyond this. In the dream itself.
Yeah.
Right? So when you transcend this, first you become that samashti. Once you become that samashti and move up, then you become the Parabrahma. Clear? So to give another example, to take Nagaprabha Mahodiya's example, Nagaprabha Mahodiya's dream, I said there is Jayabalambika in it. Now Jayabalambika, there is an actor. Right? Which is actually a part of Nagaprabha, who has borrowed Nagaprabha Mahodiya's mind. So either she is shouting at Nagaprabha or Nagaprabha is shouting at Jayabalambika. Whatever. Or they're very friendly and very happily chatting with each other. Either ways. Okay. Now, Nagaprabha Mahodiya is probably easier to wake up because in this sense, she is the samashti, she is the full. For Jayabalambika Mahodiya, she is the vyashti, she has borrowed something and limited by that. So, Jayabalambika Mahodiya is not there physically in that this one. Correct? So, that is the way the projection is happening.
Yeah, but then here, we thinking, we knowing that the world is in our mind. That is samashti?
No, the world is in our mind is a chitta. It is the vyashti itself. No, okay.
Vyashti,
That samashti is known. It's not that the chitta does not know it, but it is limited by the projection of the mind, as I said again.
Okay.
Because it can only sense
because you know
certain
what?
things.
Yes, it is limited to the knowledge what we have in the mind. That is.
We only have limited knowledge. Please note, we have very limited knowledge. Our knowledge is limited. No matter how much we think we know everything, our knowledge is very limited and we are subject to certain four ways of knowing things. That is Anumana, Upamana, then Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana and Shabda. That if we have understood the Shabda right and believe in it fully, then there's a chance that we'll progress further. That's something Gnana Marga. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the process. There is sleep, Swapna. There is a Swapna Vishwa. That is, I create a world of dream. Now there are attributes of this. Nija Antargatam. Bahihi Iva Udbhutam. It appears as though it is real. There's a perceived reality in that. Right? And it also appears as though it is external. If it was not external and if we all assumed that it was something internal, if we knew it, there would be no fun in the dream. No, none of us would wake up with some sweat on the forehead. We'll all be nobody will go through any emotions in the dream. We all go through emotions in the dream. Do you all agree? Emotions are a function of the mind. That means it's external. We are seeing something, we assume that it appears to be something external. Right? How is it resolved? Prabodha Samaya said in the morning, but there are people who dream even in the afternoon. There are people who dream every time. Sakshat Kurute. When you realize Swatmanam Eva Advayam. There were not two, there was only one entity which was also dreaming and also present in that dream. That's all that happens. Correct? That is what is coming up here. Okay. A state of existence. So now we can map this to Maya. The same thing of Nidra, sleep, can be mapped to Maya. A state of existence, that is the Swapna. The Jagrat is in Maya. Our wakeful state is in Maya. In our dream, it can be, in our sleep state, it will be called the Swapna. What is the outcome of the process? This is Swapna Vishwa. That is basically a world that exists in the dream. The world of dream world. So the world, the physical world is in Maya. Correct? Locus of the process is in the Nija Antargatam. Nija Antargatam. It appears as though it is real in both the cases. Okay. Apparent place of occurrence, it appears as though it is external. Both of it appears as though it is external. That's why we all say, that does not belong to me. This, whatever he did, I have got nothing to do with it. Sorry, you look at it deeply, you'll realize that you had everything to do with it. How is the resolution? In Nidra, it is easy, you just wake up every night or after the sleep. In Maya, it is to Gnana Anubhuti. You should realize that you are the one and wake up to that reality, the only reality. Final outcome, Swatmanam Eva Advayam. There are no two, there is Advayam. Swatmanam Eva Advayam. That's how it is to be resolved. There are no two, there is only one. Okay. So that is the whole idea of this dream versus waking states. Okay. And how does the creation process happen with this? So that's beautifully explained. The waker projects it out of himself or herself in the dream. Brahman, that is exactly what I was just giving the example of Nagaprabha Mahodaya sleeping and all, either any of us sleeping and doing things. Projects it out of itself. Waker creates the dream and enters into it. We all enter into it. So kamayata, same thing as Brahman. So kamayata, Bhausyam prajaye yeti, satapo tapyata, tapastaptva, idagum sarvam asajata, tam srishtva, tagum idam sarvam pravishat. He went into all this, entered into it. In the dream, when you enter, when we are present, we are lost. Do we all agree we are lost? We have no control. We are afraid, we are happy, we are sad, we are doing all sorts of nonsense there. Correct? Or enjoying ourselves there. Every form of things we are doing. Okay. So we have manifested a world out of nowhere in the dream. And there are a lot of transactions also happening. We can be giving money, we can be exchanging notes, we can be, there have been enough things that you would never probably do in the real world, but you're imagining you're doing in the dream world. Very, very sattvic people I have heard who would say, I dreamt I was robbing something there. Now, where did it come from? There is some subconscious, this one which is getting that to be done, right? And there is no control on that. Jagat
This is what I was asking about.
Transacting. Yes, somebody is speaking.
Yes, Mahodaya, this is what I said, that chitta, that feeling of somebody, a sattvic mind also feeling that robbing dream. Could that be that chitta's prarabdha karma which is affecting?
See, the idea can be borrowed.
Yeah, the idea of...
That's what I was asking. But how it is manifesting? You cannot do something that is outside of what you have seen. See, that what is that robbing implying that nobody knows? It could be a sattvic karma itself for all you know. Okay, so that is not known, that is not shown. Okay. One more body is created. In this case, a jiva gets created to transact. Manas is the apparatus to orchestrate this creation. In the creation of the universe, that's Prakriti or Prakriti Mata or Maya. So that is where Nama, Rupa and Guna play a major role. In Swapna also it is Nama, Rupa and Guna which plays the role. Maya also is Nama, Rupa and Guna that plays the role. Okay. So it's exactly the same. No difference there at all. Yeah, in Panchadashi, the role of the mind is very interestingly असत्यपि च बाह्यार्थे स्वप्नादौ बुध्यते नरः समाधि सुप्तिमूर्छासु सत्यपि अस्मिन् न बध्यते. So in the asat api cha bahyarthe, externally, swapna adau badhyate naraha. Even in the dream, we are bound. The shackles bind us. So the moment, one very simple example, somebody came and said, I dreamt something bad yesterday. Okay, I said, okay, probably. Sorry to hear that. That's about I always say. That is not very strong. He said, what if it becomes true? So essentially, there is an additional thought process which is created and says, it is creating a binding force. Now, adding things, what if you're creating a future out of that dream now, which you had never sort of projected at all, foreseen. Okay, there's happiness, there is sadness, all these things come in. Okay, this exists in samadhi, deep sleep, fainting. This is not experienced in any of these states. If you're in samadhi, this whole problem of bahyarte swapnado badhyate, this binding, this transactional binding is not there in any of these three states. If you're in a samadhi state, it is not. Deep sleep, it is not there. Fainting state, you're fainted. No such thing. They will not bind you on these things. However, a dreamer and a non-existent state there'll be sukha, dukkha, all the dualities will be present. And once you wake up, you'll start projecting that also into different things. Okay. And that is the role of the mind. Mind, wherever that's why mind is said to be blind neutral. Okay. So that is what happens in the mind. Okay. So with this, okay, I think we'll go through this also. We will get this. Okay. There's something called Vairagya Drinima. How many of you have heard of Vairagya Drinima? So this was another thing by Acharya Shankara. Janma dukkham jara dukkham jaya dukkham punah punah samsara sagaram dukkham tasmat jagrata jagrata. Be aware. Birth is a dukkha state. Okay, it gives a lot of happiness to everyone around when you are born. But how are you born? You come to a state where you cry. If you are not crying, there's a problem. Correct? Jara dukkham. When you are growing old, you are in dukkha. Jaya dukkham. Oh, what the hell? Why is this not happening? Why is that happening? The mind is constantly projecting something. Punah punah, over and over again. Samsara sagaram dukkham. It's only full of dukkha. So be aware that it's full of dukkha. Nothing wrong with it. Be aware. Jagrata, jagrata. Be careful. That's all. Kamascha, krodascha, lobascha dehe. Tishtanti taskaraha. These are the four things which are thieves sitting in you. Jnana ratna apaharaya. Why are they sitting? To take away the jnana ratna. They just want to make sure you don't wake up. You don't wake up to that ultimate reality. Taskaraha are thieves. They're all thieves. What are the thieves? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, all other. Ityadaya. They take you away from that Parabrahma Jnana. Correct? These are the four things that are actually saying don't go near that. Unless, of course, there is some value add that comes. Then you can blame that Paramatma that, oh, you did not give me. So it's all very transactional. Jnana Ratna Apaharaya Tasmat Jagrata Jagrata. Be careful. This is what it says. So again, Sakshat Krute. There was a term Sakshat Krute. What does that mean? Shruti Acharya Prasadena Yoga Abhyasa Vashena Cha. ईश्वरानुग्रहेण अपि स्वात्मानबोधः यदा भवेत्. When Swatmanabodha happens, that is what is Sakshat Kurute. In the equivalent of the dream, waking up. As Nagaprabha Mahodaya woke up and figured out there was nobody else, Jayabalambika Mahodaya was not there. So they're all good friends. They're all happy. Both of them are very happily are able to transact. If you wake up to that Paramatma Tattva, that, how can it happen? Shruti Acharya Prasadena, Shrutyacharya Prasadena, if you can get it through a guru. Athva Yoga Abhyasa Vashena, keep practicing that, trying to get there, going there on and on and on and on. If you do that, Ishvara Anugrahena, if there's Ishvara Anugraha, example Shishupala, Kamsa, there was Ishvara Anugraha, the thing, they were all cursing Krishna, they were all cursing so many things all over. But then there was an Ishvara Anugraha which said, okay, you die, you will come to me, that's fine. Swatmana Bodha Yada Bhave. Whenever that Swatmana Bodha happens, you are Sakshat Kurute. You have become the Sakshatkara. Bhuktam Yathanam Kukshastham Swatmanatvena Eva Pashyati. You start seeing all this Bhuktam, eating or enjoying things, enjoying all the pleasures and pains through the Swatmana lens. Through that, or take away all forms of lens, and true Swatmana, that Atma, if you start seeing it through that, then Purnahanta Kavalitam.
Purnahanta
Kavalitam. Vyashti and Samashti are mixed together. That's what it means here. Vishwam Yogishwaras Tatha. Yogishwaras Tatha, not Yogishwaras Tatha. Yogishwara Tatha.
Is it Dirgha? Yeah, okay, got it.
That's what I changed that, yes. So when the Vyashti and Samashti merge together and Yogeshwara it becomes, then you become that. That is what Sakshat Kurute means. That is what it was there. Swatmanameva Advayam. Puratraye Kridati Yaha Cha Jivaha. Tatahatu Jatam Sakalam Vichitram. Adharam Anandam Akhandabodham Yasmin Layam Yati Puratrayancha. Okay. So one who is reveling, Kridati, Puratraye Kridati, Yaha Jivaha Jatam Sakalam Vichitram, who understand that Jiva, all these things, the Triputi, that is Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara can be one and the same. Adharam, Anandam, Akhandabodham. They both are not, they both are inseparable things. The Paramatma and Ananda are inseparable. They are exactly the same thing. Yasmin Layam Yati. So that is Swatmanameva Advayam. Mayeva Sakalam Jatam, Mayi Sarvam Pratishtitam, Mayi Sarvam Layam Yati, Tad Brahma Advayam Asmi Aham. This is the Paramavakya, the Mahavakya. Aham Brahmasmi. Tad Brahma Advayam Asmi Aham. Tad Brahma Advayam Asmi Aham. One who can visualize and get that knowledge is the Swatmanameva Advayam. Okay. So fine. For today we will stop here. Prashnaha santi chet kripya pruchantu. Any thoughts? Any thoughts that anybody wants to share or say anything? Can say. We have another 3-4 minutes. No.
No, not really. It's really hard one to digest. I mean, it's for
This is
a long
hard to
time.
digest. I agree.
Yeah,
It's not
it's not
simple to
easy even.
digest.
It has to go side by side.
Huh?
It has to go side by side. The life experience as well as the adhyatma.
Yeah. That is an anubhuti. You have to get to that anubhuti to do this.
Yeah.
So that's what this one class will be like this, because I just
Mhm.
wanted to bring a flavor of jnana into Bhaja Govindam. We'll not
Yeah.
get too much of jnana because that will get very, very dry subject.
Yeah.
Into bhakti. Next class onward, we'll start talking about karma and bhakti because
Mhm.
that's an easier marga to follow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sheila Madhya Vadatu.
Yeah, Mahoday, I was just saying that Anandam is, you can say, everybody goes through that Anandam a bit when the time between two satisfactions, that time of total calmness which they feel,
No, not
or
forget two
total
satisfactions.
calmness, or
No.
what do I say? I mean, that time of having nothing or nothing in them, or the mind is just totally, self within itself. Or
The challenge. No. I'll give you the challenge in that statement, Madhya. Hold on. Hang on there. See, anything that the mind will do will
the
have.
next one.
Madhya, just hold on there. I'll give you the challenge with your statement there. Between two satisfied states. One is that you're satisfied, which means that you are trying to hold on to that satisfaction. So there's a fear. What if I lose this? Right. Next one, you are going to a satisfaction where you are saying, what if I don't get it? So this is not the true Ananda state. So if you want to.
No, I think I'm expressing it in a, I'm not expressing what I want to express. Like that feeling of fullness when you have that, the satisfaction you get of that fullness, or how do I express it? Could
Yes.
that be?
Yes, that is I'll explain it differently for you. See that
Every
fullness,
human being goes through it for a split second or something.
that fullness can never be in an external object.
Yeah.
That is the point. The fullness can never come from an external object. The fullness has to come from within. That's a very straightforward understanding that anybody will give you. Okay, point number one.
I couldn't hear you, Maudya.
Just a minute, hold on. So I said it has to be, that fullness has to come from within. It cannot be from an external source or external object. Correct?
Yeah.
Simple. Very, very straightforward thing. Nothing complex about it. The second thing is, if it is coming from an external object, you are necessarily talking about it as the, however small and fractional, you are saying, what if I lose this? Or what?
No, Mahodaya, I am talking from the state of mind.
Correct. The state of mind is conditioned to that. Is necessarily conditioned to that for it towards an external object. But if you say sushupti, that is where the example given is that of sushupti. You sleep, you have a very deep sleep, and get up and say, I had a contented sleep. That is a state of ananda, because there is no mind there. The dualities of the mind are absent. That the intelligence is switched off. Everything is switched off. So you say, I had a contented sleep, deep sleep.
I can't hear you. What is wrong with me?
So I think there is some challenge with your this one. Yeah, this one is flickering. Maybe you want to switch off your camera.
Okay, Mohoday, Dhanyavad.
Yeah,
I have a meeting.
Yeah, sure. So Shalini Mohoday, you wanted to say something?
I just wanted to take a look at that comparative table that you had shown me. It was really very beautiful, where the how the Paramatma manifests in the world as a jiva, and how the dream, comparing it to the dream. I found that beautiful. Want to take
I'll
up?
share this after, probably I'll not share it today. Next week I'll share this presentation because I want to have a little more discussion before I share it. Okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Yes, Nagaprabha Madhyavadu.
Mahodaya, let this be there, that
Okay.
table. If you say that we are all part of the dream of Paramatma.
Yeah, we are part of that. See, there are two things. One, yes, we are part of that Paramatma's dream, and that Paramatma is also in us. Both the things are true.
Okay. Like how you said, some 10 people I have in my dream. When I wake up, they are not there. Actually, nothing happened.
Correct.
Right.
But Nagaprabha was necessarily present in Jai Balambika, no?
I am
In the
present.
dream.
In the same thing, I can compare with Brahman.
Correct.
It's
You can.
nothing to do with.
You can.
Yeah.
The only small slight difference is that Parabrahma Vastu is also there in you. So you can alter your state with free will. That is where human beings have the free will. Animals will not. So animals will necessarily only have to wait for that Parabrahma to wake up, to get up.
My question is not over. Brahman, we are in a part of Brahman's dream. I mean, Parabrahman, Ishvara. If he is sleeping now, dreaming, when he wake up, it will all be dissolved in him.
So this is not a dream projection. This is what is called a Turya projection. So you can also have, see, okay, that's where four states are explained. Dream is one state. I said there is the fourth state, which is the Turiya Avastha. Now, Paramatma also can record what is actually happening. Right? That superconscious knows that it is projecting the world and also in that world. We as actors, that Paramatma is present in us, but we have masked it.
But for Paramatma, actually we are not there because we are just a dream.
Correct. Correct.
That is what
No,
Pralaya
there are
happened.
no individuals. There are no individuals. Separate
There are no
individuals.
individuals. Correct.
No story also. Like how we have some stories. Our own.
No. Okay, you're getting this. You're not getting this right. So there is a Paramatma. That is the Parabrahma super consciousness, or whatever form of this one. Now there is a manifesting of that, which the Paramatma is aware of, fully aware of how the manifesting is happening. And the manifesting has happened. Now that we are part of that manifestation, within which there is a Paramatma entity also. Right? So let's take this example differently. Forget dream for now. I gave the example of the room that you are sitting in last time. Correct? The room was the state. There are multiple rooms. You can compare multiple rooms, but it's essentially some space. That's all. Right? Now, each room will be called a living room, bedroom, drawing room, kitchen, etc., etc., etc. All are some form and shape. It's a space. Right? That's all. All you need to do is break down the wall and it'll all merge with that one space. As long as there is an ego associated with each space that says, okay, I am the drawing room, I am this or something, they all are different. Technically, they are not. Do you agree? They have different attributes. They behave differently. But there is just a projection. So that is the way to understand this. Okay. Okay. So we will stop here. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः को ब्राह्मणेभ्यो शुभमस्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथ्वी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः आदनात् सतनात् सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरिः ओम्. Okay, one question that few people ping me was this is holidays and we are traveling and we are doing things. So is that true, and do you want a class next week, not want a class next week?
I am available, Mohoday. I can take a class.
Okay.
I'm there also.
So, okay, one of you put a poll on the group whether you want a class or not. I am okay with taking the class, but anyone just
Okay, I'll do
do
that.
a quick poll. I'll attend, I'll not attend. Simple. I'll attend the class on, I am okay with the class on 30th.
Right.
Okay. One of you, who wants to put it?
I'll do it, Mohoday.
Okay. Shalini Mohoday, please put it. Okay. So let's see. If there are majority, we'll just do the class. Otherwise, okay.